I'm Michael Hsu. I'm president of Michael Hsu Office of Architecture. I'd say the most inspiring part is really the working on trying to find and work on new and interesting finishes and ways to create interesting spaces and pick materials and use them in interesting ways that we can kind of surprise people a little bit when they come in there. We work with a lot of local craftspeople in town, painters and metal workers and light fixture makers and fabricators. So we try to roll a lot of local craftspeople into all of our projects to give it that sort of handmade, one-off look and a very homegrown feel. And that goes for something as high-end as an Uchiko, but that's also how we approach like a P. Terry's job, or when we do work for Amy's Ice Cream, or we want that spirit to convey from a very expensive experience to a very everyday experience. My first restaurant project on my own was working for Tyson and Daryl over at Uchi, and I did that in conjunction with another well-known designer in town. And then subsequently we've done their other restaurants here, Uchi Cove or Uchi in Houston. So we've sort of grown along with them. So that's been a great job for us, and they've been fantastic clients. We love working with them. The way Austin continually creatively redefines itself is what I feel like is the most exciting part about Austin. So that's why we've chosen to put our office here on Burner Road. We have 15 people here. I have a relatively young staff, which has been nice because a lot of the jobs we do, I think, as we bring young people up from the bottom, they bring a fresh approach to how we look at things. And then we go out to lunch a lot. Because we do a lot of restaurants, we're able to go out and see those kind of things. So that's a lot of fun for us also. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a business, but that's just a part of, having to be those sort of things so we can conduct what it is that we genuinely love doing, which is making interesting projects. I only did this because I felt like it was the only way for me to do my best work. And at that point I knew I needed to open up my own firm. But until that point, no, there was no sort of real dream of entrepreneurship. If anything, I saw my parents who owned small businesses growing up struggle and toil a lot, quite a bit, and not have much success at it. So if anything, I had a real reticence to kind of start my own business. But it was really, I started my own business so I could do what it is that we love doing. I think our work is very much modern and sort of material centric and very clean and edited, and that's my own personal style. It's just one that tries to do a lot with not very much, and trying to remove things as opposed to adding them all back in. And that is very much tied in with the spirit of how we go about choosing materials. We like materials that are in essence raw and unmodified, sort of keeps an organic feel and quality about them. We feel like those materials are really what makes a space feel good, which is at the end of the day what our goals are, is to not so much inject a lot of style into a project or per se or design it, but just create environments that feel right and appropriate for what's going on inside. I know there's a spirit here that's about trying to listen very carefully first before we make decisions, and I think it works well for us that we don't have really preconceived notions of what a space should be, even though we have sort of guiding principles on what we feel like is good design. So we try to stay very open-minded. What entrepreneurship is to me, as an architect, it's not so much business as it is creativity. So I feel like being an entrepreneur is about being creative, no matter what it is that a person's pursuing. Thinking and rethinking things, even though they may have been done in a certain way for a long time, just being willing to consider and question whether or not there's a better way or a different way or a more interesting way to go about it.